What's up, guys? DZK here. No intro. I'm tired. Don't really want to do any editing. I just kind of want to ramble a bit about the ROH talk that has come up from the likes of Trademark and True Slayer. I did touch a little bit on my feelings of 2011 ROH in my catch-up vid I did probably about a month or so ago. I believe that vid, yeah. By the way, speaking of videos, please, if you haven't seen it already or commented on it or done something, please check out my last video. I put a lot of work into that, and I wanted to do something kind of nice, and I wanted to edit stuff and put in cool footage, what I could get easily, pretty much. Excuse me, because I just knocked out about half a case of Chips Ahoy Chewy cookies, and it's a terrible idea. Never do that, guys. Yeah, I put a lot of work into that. It'd be really nice if people actually watched it. I think I'm over 50 views on that. Tell your subscribers to watch it. I don't care. This is the one time where I'm asking my subscribers to tell other people about my videos, because I really like that video and I put a lot of work into it. I like that I put a lot of work into it and that it looked different from the everyday YouTube video. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at everyday YouTube videos. I usually get quite sidetracked, like with stuff like this. Look at my goatee. Alright, Ring of Honor. We have Trademark, and he kind of got into the two people who annoy him the most on ROH nowadays, being Davey Richards and Jim Cornette. Davey is definitely a weird case. For those, most of my subscribers know, I'm big on the ProWrest.tv forum, which talks despite the name being ProWrest.tv, there's plenty of Japanese wrestling talk, but there is a ton, especially with some of the non-Japanese, with another non-Japanese list that we have coming up, which I need to do a bunch of watching for. A non-Japanese match of the year list that we got to write up. We do a lot of talk about non-Japanese wrestling. It's scary how much we actually talk about, other than the pro wrestling that is so delightful from Japan. And when we talk about non-Japan, Davey Richards comes up quite a bit. A lot of people don't care for him. Although even those who don't necessarily care for him think he's some of those people think he's all right. I think he's a little bit better than all right. I think he's good, but there's just so many performances that he's a great representation of sort of what I used to like and what I've grown to like. And it's not that I don't like seeing cool shit. I do, but I've seen so much that the cool shit alone doesn't do it. Like any good movie. I mean, a Michael Bay film's gonna have cool ass explosions, but what if you don't enjoy the story or the characters at all? You're not gonna like it. I'm looking at you, Transformers 2, fucking pricks. I like Transformers 1. I love Transformers 1. Well, not love. I really like Transformers 1. Transformers 2 pisses me off. Still haven't seen Transformers 3. You get the picture. And Davey is everything. He's like this representation of everything that I've grown to dislike about a lot of stuff. Mostly indie-wise. I mean, He's got intensity, but he's not refined at it. He's got some personality, but he fails to let it show. He has the ability to add psychology and better selling and better timing and better drama overall to his matches, but instead it's just sort of moves, it doesn't always work out. I mean, hell, if what was it? If there was just recently I watched Fear, PWG Fear, great show. I think I might actually like it a bit more than Steen Wolf. I don't think I'm in the majority on that one, but I think I do. And it was American Wolves versus Super Smash Brothers. I really liked that match. That was a lot of fun. Because I think American Wolves and Super Smash Bros. Were a great pair. It brought the best out of the Wolves. The Wolves do work better together than they do apart nowadays. That's just my feeling. For some reason, Davy's a bit more held back, and held back Davy's actually better Davy in my opinion, because he just goes too crazy and too loose. And I guess Edwards is the same. That's why, I'd probably take Edwards' performance in just looking at the Edwards performance. I'd rather take him in that fairly short Roderick Strong match from Bola over his performance in the Best in the World match. And I like the match more than a bunch of people who didn't necessarily like it, but I don't like it nearly as much as the people who really liked it. I think there's an awesome spot. I think it's so awesomely executed. And what pisses me off is that the follow-up on it is negligible at best. A couple of spots. I've talked about this match before. I mean, and then another way of being held back and being better, Davey Richards versus Low Key from Kurt Russell Reunion 2, I believe is what it was, for the 2011 first show of the year for PWG. Him versus Low Key got held back, worked some heel stuff, kind of similar to some of the stuff he did in the Super Smash Bros. Match, and it was just more enjoyable. He appeals to me more in your Japanese mid-cards and I guess just mid-card stuff in general. If his main event stuff, if 80% of his main event stuff was cut down by about 8 to 10 minutes, I'd enjoy him a lot more. I'm certain of it. I remember I asked AMCM1 what kind of guys he thinks would benefit from having less time in their matches, and I was honestly expecting him to bring up Davey Richards almost immediately, but and I see it starting to get to trademark, and it got to me too over the course of 2011. Just the guy, he's just sort of doing stuff, and it's just not clicking anymore. I mean, like I said, I like cool stuff, but it's when you string it together well, and that makes it better. I don't know. It's just sort of now that I've seen so much of so many styles, I need to go back to okay, let's get the basics down. Let's get the selling. Let's transition well. Let's have clever timing. Let's be smart. Let's have a lot of personality. Let's have good facials. Let's have emotion. Let's not go too overboard. Let's not be too boring. Let's just do stuff well. And there's I hate to pick on Ring of Honor specifically, but they are, of all the indies, they're the one who's gone down the most in my book. PWG has a lot of turn off your brain kind of stuff. In kind of going for an ROH type match, but I think one is that they actually use a slightly different talent, or at least the same talent in different ways that I think worked out better. Like the way they would, excuse me, that burp's been coming up for a while. The way they were using a guy like Chris Hero, El Genericos, Kevin Steen. The positions they put him in were a bit better. You had and the differences in talent and whatnot. And I mean, Evolve, I think Evolve might have actually gone up a little in my book, because they went from off the map to having guys that I liked. Chikara, I love Chikara. Why even talk about it? And CZW, they started off hot and fell off, but they're still the guys that I like there. I think ROH was higher than CZW, and I don't want to say they're lower than CZW now, but they're, in terms of quality, but I wouldn't say they were, they're probably still better, but the drop is just more dramatic. It's just getting to me. I mean, creatively, they are bland as hell. It's just, not clicking. Trademark brought up Jim Cornette. I'm certain that he has a very big hand in Delirious's booking decisions. I'm convinced at this point. I think that just sort of came with the. Around the same time that they were switching from Pierce to Delirious's booker was the same time they were bringing in World's Greatest Tag Team, and then Cornette was getting so involved. I'm certain was getting so involved with booking those guys that he was just absolutely just, you're just getting his hand into everything else, because I can tell that he's a believer in Davey Richards being the guy, and kayfabe wise, Davey Richards is the guy, if one of the guys, if not the guy, kayfabe wise, and I mean he's certainly not the worst guy on the roster, certainly not. But I mean, you got Kevin Steen waiting in the wings, and the sooner you get the belt on him, the better. Because in the long term, I think they've killed the Davey thing so much that, by the time he won it at Best of the World, it was such an inevitability, and nothing, it was an inevitable win, and then nothing really came out of it that was any greater. We just went right into Davey Eddie Chapter 2, or Chapter 3, whatever, and that whole saga. And I've yet to see Generico get his title shot versus Davey, but I've heard such mixed views between the YouTube and the boards. I've seen such mixed thoughts on that kind of scares me, because I love Generico, and I think Generico and Davey have a great history together. Generico is one of those guys you put with Davey, and those are good Davey qualities. I mean, Generico doesn't get rid of all the bad stuff, but because Generico likes to go crazy too. Just look at any hardcore match he's ever been in. He'll go over the top. He'll go crazy. That's when not used right is a bad thing about Generico. But again, I'm rambling like hell. Good God, I cannot stay on topic for the life of me. At least I'm in ROH. At least I'm not in freaking Big Japan or whatever. I mean, I could talk about Big Japan and their Ikitosen tournament this year as being strong BJ and involving Sami Callihan, but I strayed off again. Good God, I'm rambling like a motherfucker. It's been a long week, folks. It's been a long week. So yeah, we got Davey, we got Jim coming out of Trademark, and then we got True Slayer's video, which came mostly out of a dislike for the talent pool that they got. That is for sure. That is absolutely for sure. And he was talking, bringing in ex-WWE guys, and when you consider the guys they brought into Ring of King has done a great job of that. They brought in, excuse me again, good God, you just look at this. I got rid of that. I just got rid of this tonight. Like these two things, they were full, completely empty now, because I'm a fat ass. All right. And True Story was talking about bringing in WWE guys. I mean, and Rinka King has done a great job with it, using Chris Masters, using Gallows, especially Gallows. I think I love his big man work so far in Rinka King. I'm up to episode 6. He's great. I freaking love watching him now. It's just something about it's just clicking here, and the fact that he was having these sort of these big man brawls with Trevor Murdoch, another ex-WWE guy who they got there, who maybe he's not much of a ROH guy, I guess. But I mean, like Masters and Gallows, I really like Gallows, and if he ever feels like doing more U.S. Indies, and you could always say, hey, he's CM Punk's friend. Why not? Why wouldn't ROH use him? Honestly, I think that'd be damn cool, and I think he'd fit in well, because he's badass. And he's talking about those ex-WWE guys, and I'm thinking, there are indie guys, and so many indie guys that, like, ROH. This is what gets to me. In my mind, historically, ROH is where the best indie guys inevitably end up. The hottest prospects inevitably end up. You know what? I'm going to save that for another video. That part. I'm going to cut this off early because there's a thing in the indies that occasionally comes up, and that is the talent war between Ring of Honor and such against all the promotions and talent who are firmly associated with former Ring of Honor booker Gabe Sapolsky. That's an interesting topic that is a better way of addressing the ROH talent issue, in terms of guys they can, I guess, more reasonably get as opposed to your ex-WWE and TNA talent. So I'm going to say that for another time. But this is just sort of some thoughts I'm throwing out there. And plus I want to give you guys a video because I love you. Well, I'd love you more if you watch my videos more, especially the last one. I'll try to remember to put a link to it in the description, even though you could just go to up here where all my videos are listed, and right after this one, yeah, right there, that's my current one. Right here should be my last video of my WWE Best of 2011 list. And I put a lot of work into that. Please watch it, because I don't want to feel like a tool putting all that work into it. Don't be douchebags. I'm DoubleCrossKing. Stay classy. And I'll come back to this topic eventually.